Attention, ladies and gentlemen.
It's time to embrace a youthful mindset and envision your future. Take the lead is in your walls.
Take the lead is in your walls.
This platform serves as a space for engagement designed to equip young people to become effective leaders. They are actively contributing, creatively engaged, and determined in various fields. And now, this is Take the Lead.
It's another day to be happy as young people take center stage. Hello and welcome to Take the Lead, your youth exchange program here in West Africa, Democracy Radio, broadcasting from Dakar, Senegal. My name is Augustine Cully, and today, this 22nd episode of the program focuses on artificial intelligence as a double-edged sword for youth development. Please follow us right now on 94.9 FM. We are also streaming live on YouTube at WADR News, on Facebook, WADR English Service, worldwide at WADR.org. We will also read out your comments, so please put through your comments through the live feed that you are watching us through so that we can also acknowledge your presence on the program. Artificial intelligence, also known as AI, is often described as a double-edged sword because it can be used for both beneficial and harmful purposes. While AI offers immense potential for solving problems, improving efficiency, and enhancing various aspects of life, it also poses risks like job displacement and security vulnerabilities, among others. In the context of youth development, AI's impact on youth is indeed complex, presenting both significant benefits and potential drawbacks. On one hand, AI can enhance learning by providing personalized education, simplifying research, and even assisting in creative endeavors. However, excessive reliance on AI can hinder critical thinking, limit curiosity, and reduce social interaction. This edition of the program discusses AI in both positive and negative forms towards young people.
Take the Lead is back in 2025 with a brand new format. Yes, your youth exchange space will now be broadcast live every Friday at 4:05 p.m. Universal Time. And that's not all. Dear internet users and WADR subscribers, you have the opportunity to experience the show live and direct on our online platforms on Facebook at WADR English Service and on YouTube at WADR. Take the Lead every Friday from 4:05 p.m. Universal Time and rebroadcast same day at 1 a.m. Universal Time. Also on every Tuesday, your youth program will be rebroadcast at 7:15 a.m. and 4:05 p.m. GMT. Take the lead and champion the discourse for the betterment of young people.
Yes. We are back with Take the Lead. Joining us for today's discussions are all potentially inclined young guys. And they are Ismaila Sek, a Senegalese computer scientist with a PhD in computer science. He's also the academic program manager at the Gassen AI and responsible for external relations at the AI Hub. It's a pleasure to have you in our studios, Ismaila. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, and you?
Well, I'm okay. Is it your first time here?
Yes.
Tell us, how do you feel being here today?
It's an honor, and it's an honor, and I really enjoy the jingle
Okay.
and the mood around here.
Thank you. We really appreciate that. We also have Rudolph Agemon from Benin. He's a development communication specialist and president of the Vox agency I guess that's in Senegal, but he will tell us more about that. Welcome, Rudolph. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing great. And you?
Well, I'm fine as well. Tell us, how do you feel being in our studios today?
I feel good.
Okay, great. Like I asked Ismail, is it your first time in our studio today?
No, it's not my first time. It's my second time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the organization Vox, thank you, please. Vox Agency, it's in Senegal or?
Yes, it is in Senegal.
Okay. So
Yes.
tell us, how do you feel being a young person and working in such, an entity or institution?
What we are doing, the Adverse Agency, is to use communication for sustainable development.
Right.
So it's to produce content that will help young people to understand certain kind of content, topics related to development.
Great. We also have Evans Ahusu. Is a documentary photographer based in Ghana. How are you doing, Evans? And welcome to the program.
Thank you. I'm doing good. It's great to have to be on this program.
Okay.
I hope you can hear me well.
Yes, maybe you can just put a little effort in your voice to be much more clearer. So how is Ghana this wonderful Friday afternoon?
Ghana is great. It's great. We are on a good mood in Ghana today. Personally, I find myself far away from the city.
Okay.
So, so far where I am, it's good. Ghana is good.
Great. As well as Sheikh Tijani Njai. Sheikh is a journalist in the digital department of the Senegalese national dailies known as The Sun. Let's hear from you, Sheikh Tijani Njai. How are you doing, and welcome to the program?
Hi everyone. Hi Bill. I'm doing fine. How about you?
Well, I'm okay. Tell us, how do you feel being on the program today?
Yeah, feeling good, and I'm so honored to be part of this program.
Great. It promises to be interesting. So let's begin the show with hearing from our respective guests. And we will begin with the computer scientist, of course, Ismaila, to share with us his own understanding about artificial intelligence, or AI, in this 21st century. Please, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so simply said, I like to see AI as automation, but on steroid. So it's, let's say, the nec plus ultra of automation. That's that's the ultimate step, at least where we are today, the state of the art in automation, to put it simply.
Okay. Drill us through a bit about how you got involved into maybe like computer science, and then gradually obtaining a PhD in computer science. Then we would like to know more about the difference in technologies, which AI is separate from other technological tools.
Yeah. So I was born in Senegal, did my studies here, got a my degree to go to the university. I knew that I loved math and physics.
Okay.
So I didn't exactly know what field I'm going to be working into. But yeah, I went into math and physics. 2 years down the line, my love for physics was a bit down. So I only got one choice, which was math. Okay. So I did engineering in math and modeling.
Okay.
In my last year, I was also interested in discrete optimization, so I did a master's degree in methods and algorithms for decision making, and discovered deep learning in one of the last courses while I was going to do a PhD in operation research. So I knew that I wanted to do a PhD for a while, but then I made a U-turn saying, no, I'm not going to go into operation research. I'm going to do deep learning. Then I did my last year internship in a lab working on deep learning, and I got offered a PhD. 4 years later, I was a PhD, and I'm really passionate about what I'm doing, and I'm trying to spread the word around Senegal and Africa as much as I can.
You talk about being passionate about what you do. That's a lot to say. Let's hear from Rudolph. share with us your own understanding. You are a communication specialist with regards to your work and coming in contact with AI. Tell us, what is your understanding about it?
Thank you for this question. I think that I need to start with the how knowledge is produced. You know, knowledge stems first for data. After data, we transform data into information, and from information we have knowledge, and from knowledge we have a wisdom. AI is able to produce knowledge, and the food of AI is data. The data we put on AI will generate knowledge and information. But knowledge, AI does not have a wisdom. So as human beings, we have a wisdom to guide AI and to decide the direction that AI will take. So
Great.
that's my perception about artificial intelligence in our world today.
Important. That in some sense will mean that you, as human being, we can control AI instead of AI controlling us.
Exactly. Because we have a wisdom, and we need to decide what we are going to do with AI. Let's take. I see AI as a fire. You know, when you take a fire, you can cook a food to eat, or you can burn your house. So it depends on how we use our wisdom to control artificial intelligence.
Interesting. But let's hear from Sheikh Tijan Jai. As a journalist, often people will say that AI makes work easier, and sometimes it makes journalists lazy in terms of investigative journalism and writing properly. Instead of, doing deep research, they will rely mostly on the AI tools. But what do you make of the AI in terms of your work as a journalist? Are you there, Sheikh? It seems...
You hear me?
Yes, we're hearing you now.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you for this opportunity. And I think a journalist, AI holds tremendous potential to transform the life of everyone, like journalists or other sectors. On one hand, it's a powerful tool for empowerment. It opens doors to new educational resources, digital skills, and innovative jobs, improving that were previously inaccessible. But for the journalists, AI-driven platform that can personalize learning experience, making education more effective and news more efficient, coming through to the journalists that I'm practice. This threatens undermine trust in media and distort public discourse. But additionally, issues and data privacy and surveillance raise ethical questions about how personal information is collected and used, especially in countries with weak regulatory frameworks. But as a journalist, I see firsthand I can be both an asset and threat. That's what I want to. And I'm sorry. What I want to add is, journalists must also remain vigilant against biases embedded in AI algorithms and the potential misuse of technology to manipulate public opinion. But in general, it helps journalists to be more efficient in his work and to get more time to do something as well as it possible.
Okay, great, Sheikh. But for you, Evans, how would you describe your work as a documentary photographer? Do you also rely on AI tools? And if you do, how do you rely on AI tools to carry out your, documentary? Evans, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you for having me. As someone who used images to document the truth and spark conversation, I think AI is reshaping how we communicate, how we learn, and how we see the world, especially through visuals. And I think it's an opportunity for the youth, and also it's a responsibility, because as someone who photographs, I feel the way I see things and the way I photograph, with how we have image generations now in AI, it has made a lot of people have in mind that the work of a photographer would be taken away. But then I also see it to be a way to also tell stories or things we don't see and can't photograph. So with me, I wouldn't say personally I use AI within my work, because my work needs to come as natural as possible as it could be. So storytelling, critical thinking, I think it helps when it comes to those aspects as a photographer, to be able to tell the story, and also it helps in drafting some of creating good storyboards. So as a documentary photographer, I think AI is a good tool, but then we just have to look at it very well, because a lot of people generate images which are not real. And that is where, in as much as it serves as an opportunity, it's also a responsibility for us to see which image is real and which is not.
Great. That's right. We'll get back to you. Let's come to Ismaila. Ismaila, we would like to know from your own understanding, how is AI different from other form of technology?
Yeah, I think it's quite different, and maybe the thing that came closer to it is just automation, algorithmic automation. And I see a difference in the fact that in plain algorithmic automation, what we do is we create a set of rules, and given any input, just following the rules, we can predict the output. Even humans can predict the output. And using AI, especially like supervised learning, which is the most common way of using it, you don't define the rules. You give it a bunch of inputs and outputs, and the model, the AI, figures out the rules. And I think that makes quite a difference, in the sense that sometimes there are very complex relationships between the input and the output. Let's take the example of, as I'm speaking, someone has to transcribe it. For a human, it's quite an easy task when you are trained. For a machine, it's just a bunch of numbers that you have to make sense of. And there are like variable aspects that can change that and make it a very challenging task for a computer. But today we are able to train models to be able to transcribe what people are saying in English. Train models to take into account different accents and all that. So I think it makes quite the difference.
Would you say that AI is resorting to what we will say laziness in humans' productivity? Do you subscribe to that narrative?
I think it depends on who use it. Like who is using the AI. I think there is a saying a tool is only as good as the fool using it. So it depends on how you're using that tool. Like if you are using it to be lazy, then you are going to get lazier and lazier. I used to see it as an amplificator. So if you give it a positive thing, it can multiply it by 10. But if you give it something negative, you'll get the same effect. So if you're naturally lazy, and now you have a tool that's able to do a task, and it's very difficult to make the difference if this task was made by a human or a machine, then yeah, you're going to be lazier and lazier. But if you are not lazy and you are very proactive, you'll use AI to speed up your work, to do something that is better, and do it in less time. So yeah, I think it all depends on the personality of the user himself.
Great. In the context of education and jobs, with you, Rudolph, how would you term the impact of AI on the current days, efforts to ensure quality education and also seek better job opportunities?
Okay, great question. I think that in the Africa landscape, there is need of regulation of artificial intelligence, because when we see in primary school, AI tools are not allowed for students. And when you look at in China, for example, they make a big decision to make it mandatory to use artificial intelligence in primary school. And this is, I think, a bold decision that will help children to grow up with this knowledge, with this in mind, and know how they can use AI as an opportunity. But in African landscape, people are sometimes afraid to use artificial intelligence because they might think that we are judging them. One day I went to one of my colleagues' office and he's using ChatGPT. When I opened the door, he closed the tab of ChatGPT because he's maybe afraid of my reaction. How I think, maybe I will think that he is lazy, but it's not the case. It's about how we see artificial intelligence. And when we see also the African landscape, we've missed the first revolution, which is primary sector. Development of every nation has to take certain kind of step. And the first step is for the most, if you take a success story of advanced economy, they have developed the primary sector, which is stem for natural resources, agriculture, and so on. And the second revolution is industrial revolution. Okay. We've missed also that. And at that time, Africans slavery were working on front line in Europe and America to work on their economy. And now the tertiary revolution, which is education, digital technologies, all of that, artificial intelligence, we need to take it seriously. So we need to really use this as an opportunity instead of being afraid of integrating this into our economy. That's what I think.
Great. Having said that, an important point to consider is the critical thinking nature of AI. Some believe that AI is taking away the critical thinking ability of people, especially young people these days. And I will come to you, Sheikh Tijan Jai. What do you make of the impact of AI on critical thinking or critical decision-making processes, especially considering young people these days? Tijan, are you there? Okay, I think.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, please go ahead.
As I told you in the introduction, in this 21st century, intelligence artificial AI is no longer just a futuristic concept. It's a deeply woven into our daily life, reshaping how we learn, work, and make decisions. And we really know that years ago, Africa is, considered by people where there are someone who must be the user. And now we must be fully participate. By saying fully participation is how to create environment. And I don't think that it's going to be a negative impact for young Africa, but it's an opportunity to help them to get a critical thinking, because AI can be used as an assistant to help us to reorganize our idea and something like this. Sometimes you can get a critical thinking, but without good information or big data in your hands, you can get a bad critical thinking. So AI I see it as positive as it is, and the impact is so large. And we, as young African, we must take it and reap the profits from AI.
Okay, great. Considering the impact on human control, works that human would do maybe for hours. Now AI will just do that work for maybe 15 minutes or even 10 minutes. Do you think that AI has more impact in terms of human control than the human controlling itself in terms of what human does and what the AI tools do in terms of replacing humans' control? Let's hear from you, Evans. Evans, are you there? Okay. So
yes, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, you are live.
Yeah, so I'll be talking from a visual storyteller's point of view, and what I see is with AI right now, I would say tools like Adobe Sensei, which helps in auto tag organization and enhancement of images. It makes more work easier for most visual storytellers. And I think there are some old images which I think they've been taken for so many years and are damaged. It's easy to restore those images. And also when we look at our stories like within Africa, AI help us to translate stories into multiple languages, making our stories more global and accessible now. And I think we saying it's making people more lazy. I think AI coming into existence now, we just have to adapt and get ourselves involved in making it more accessible to us, because it's a tool that makes work easier. And it shouldn't be looked as something that makes one lazy. So AI helps in doing so many things. In my point of view, images that would take me hours to edit can easily be done within a few seconds, which would make me focus on the story itself rather than wasting more time on the editing of the image. And also, I think as it stands right now, the young people can easily, with their phone, create content and put out there without having to own expensive cameras and other stuff to be able to create content. So AI, for me, it's a great tool, and I think we should look at how to inculcate it into our daily works rather than looking at it as something that makes one lazy.
Okay, great. Well, so far we have listened to interesting interactions with our guests on this 22nd episode of Take the Lead in the year 2025. Let's now pause for a while and listen to WADR's Monrovia correspondent Ibrahim Parker as he engages the opinions of Liberian youths about AI.
The term artificial intelligence was first coined by American computer scientist John McCarthy in 1956 when he held the first academic conference on AI as a subject. But the joining to understand if machines can truly think began much before died. 5 years later, Alan Turing, who was an English mathematician and pioneered machine learning in 1950, published a paper titled Computing Machinery and Intelligence on the notion of machines being able to simulate human beings and the ability to do intelligent things such as play chess games. Artificial intelligence has been studied for decades and is still one of the most elusive subjects in computer science. However, there are claims and counterclaims about AI's impacts on society, especially for the current and future generations. As part of these current debates, we engaged the views of some Liberian youths about their understanding of AI and its future impacts on their livelihoods, including education and job acquisition, and these are their responses.
First and foremost, my thinking of artificial intelligence is a computer system that performs tasks that ordinarily would be performed by humans. And since the advent of artificial intelligence, I think it's kind of contributing to making humans very lazy, because come to think about it, if you are supposed to do an assignment and you realize that you are supposed to use artificial intelligence, you just put in the question and just gives you the entire answer. Just a click of a button and you have your whole work structured and everything is just aligned, which I think is not encouraging proper research, it's not encouraging people to dig deeper, it's not encouraging reasoning, it's not encouraging extensive or study.
What I can say to you is that I do know that AI is a branch of computer science that is programmed to act like a human being or to play the role of a human being. That's my understanding of artificial intelligence.
Is AI enhancing human productivity? If yes or no, please let me know your reason.
The answer will be yes, because there are several AI tools that students or people use around the world. Like we have Grammarly that help you correct your spelling, English, or Quadboard that is used for paraphrasing, and ChatGPT that is also just for gathering information. And these different tools also help you to strengthen your capacity when it comes to spelling, writing, and organizing.
Well, I like to say AI to a certain extent is doing more harm than good. I think it is not helping the human productivity to a large extent. The reason is just very simple. AI basically was intended to promote good technological activities across the world. But what we see today, we see the opposite. Today, people use AI devices to blackmail people, to spread false information. And as a result, some of these misleading informations have led to crises in some countries. I'll just give you a practical example. And maybe use some other voice, crop the person's voice, and present it to look like, well, this is what this person is doing, in some ugly attitude or some ugly actions.
What impact would AI have on education and jobs in the future?
Yes, it might make the student lazy too. They may not put in full time. Almost like you have some help. No matter what happens, somebody will help you. So you not really put time. So on the issue of jobs, yes, it will cut down jobs. Let me say this, it will cut down employment rate. Because of the technology, in some companies or some entities where you're supposed to hire 200 to 300 people, because of the use of this technology, you will cut down that employment rate. So it will put a lot of people off job.
This is very simple. So in the future, there are a few things that will happen, few impact that we see that AI will have on job and education. First, we have something called job displacement. So AI will create this kind of job displacement where there will be tasks routine in different areas. Also, we will see something like adaptability or school curriculum, or school may adapt to certain skills or certain things. And another impact AI will do is the issue of creating job for people. AI will create more job for people. So it's like these tools are used to create another job or bring about new skills.
However, while AI has commendable impacts, reactions continue to trail regarding the possibilities of AI going beyond human control in the future, including its developers and the risks it could pose globally.
Thanks to WADR's Monrovia correspondent Ibrahim Paco for that report.
Hey people, my name is Mello, Afrobeat singer from Guinea and Conakry. I love listening to the program Take the Lead on West Africa Democracy Radio.
Hello, my name is Fatou Bintou Rassoukane. I'm the CEO of African Start Shop and I love listening to the program Take the Lead on West Africa Democracy Radio.
Welcome back to Take the Lead, your premier youth platform that sets the agenda for topical discussions all about young people within the West African sub-region and beyond. We are streaming live on YouTube at WADR News, on Facebook, WADR English Service, and worldwide at WADR.org. Let's quickly recognize our partner radio stations across the sub-region that often rebroadcast this program program, beginning with Nigeria, where we have Darlin FM there in Nigeria. We also have Nenzit FM in Kaduna State, Nigeria, followed by Love FM in Abuja. In Liberia, we have Alternative Youth Radio in Lofa County. We have DCN Radio in Rivers County, the southeast. We have Kwatika Radio in Bone County, that's a central Liberia. Crossing over to Sierra Leone, we have African Young Voices in Freetown, followed by Radio Buff in Mal. We also have Hands of Hope in Freetown, and also Eastern Radio in Kono District. That's for Sierra Leone. Now let's cross to Ghana, where we have Radio Path in the Savannah region of Ghana, followed by Royals FM in Ghana. Numi. Now we cross to the Gambia. To the Gambia, we have Numi FM in the Gambia, followed by Radio Veritas all the way there in the Gambia. Those are our partner radio stations that rebroadcast this youthful program across the sub-region. Now, coming back to our discussions, let's focus on security and the protection of privacy using AI. With you, the computer scientist, Ismaila, what would you say about the security of human beings, on the fact that people use AI for so many reasons? Like you listen to the reports, some of the Liberian youth said that people are using AI to create problems, create chaos in society. What do you make of the security implications of AI?
Yeah, this is a question that is coming again and again, and I think there are several ways of seeing it. One could just say AI is the problem, or we can say that we humans have always been the problem. Because if someone creates a knife, you can use it in a good way, or you can use it to do harm. So at the end of the day, is it the knife the problem? It's just a tool. So what I see is problem has always been the human. Yeah, AI can amplify things, but we have to educate ourselves, raise critical thinking. If you just look at a video and you trust it while it's generated, I think even before AI, people used to say, trust nothing you hear and only half of what you see. So now I think trust nothing, unless it's your own eyes. Fact check things, and that's human behavior. And I think we have to be more aware and more critically thinking now, more than ever before.
Great. To you, Rudolph, what do you make of the exposing aspect of human privacy through the use of AI?
When we take, for example, fake news, it's very easy to trust fake news because the creators of those information keep in mind that they want to distract people, and they want people to trust the information, and it goes viral easily. It's very easy for that to go viral. Like this, for example, during the campaign of Donald Trump, we have fake news spreading around and in social media that can create a tremendous lack of trust on our current situation. So I think that policymakers, they need to work on AI governance to decide what tools are allowed to be created, and also they need to raise investment in education and to advocacy campaign to help people to change their behavior and so on.
Great. As we wind down, let's hear from Evans from Ghana. Tell us, what do you make of the security implication of AI, and then you provide your recommendations quickly.
I think with AI, now there's a lot of fake images out there. People just generate images, fake images, and let's use with content monetization when it comes to Facebook now. A lot of people just need content out there for people to view. So people out of being desperate to make this monetization work, they generate images and create their own stories. But the dark side of it is most of our people in the rural communities, let's use Africa as an example, you'd realize that a lot of people don't know the difference between the real and the fake. So there are a lot of fake stories that are out there that makes a lot of people believe in things. You see videos of, I think one that I saw in Ghana, which was the current president. They made a video of him saying some things which I don't think is true, but look at someone who lives in the rural community who doesn't know the difference between a generated image and real image. This person takes this information as a real, and that is what they take in, that is what they are fed in those communities. So I think looking at AI, that side of AI, we really have to look at how we can bring AI into our schools to let students and people know the difference between what is real and what is fake. In my work, I would say when it comes to images, somebody would say, why would I go in for a photographer if I can generate an image to tell a story? But I always say that AI doesn't walk to the village, AI doesn't sit with a grieving mother, or AI doesn't wait for hours for the light to hit right for them to photograph. Just like my friend said earlier when he started, AI doesn't really have the wisdom like we have the wisdom, and we can control it to do what we want to do. So with education, once we educate people to understand AI and know the difference between the generated images and real images, I think we would be able to do away with misinformation.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ivan. We hope to have you on the show another time. Thanks so kindly.
Welcome, sir.
All right. Let's hear from you, Sheikh Tijan Njai. What are your recommendations to young people regarding the use of AI?
Okay, so my first recommendation is the education. Just to know how to use AI and how to work on, because AI can be so positive for our work and how to innovate, even though we know that in Africa, a lot of young people are entrepreneurs, but if we don't know how to use it and how to be hands-on of these tools, we can use it. But I want also to say something. It's a kind of recommendation for young journalists in Africa. We have to know that AI is not without significant challenges. And one major concern is the risk of misinformation or fake news, which AI technology can amplify through deepfakes and automated content creation. And this threatens to undermine trust in media or destroy public discourse, making the role of responsible journalism even more critical. Additionally, issue of data privacy and surveillance raise ethical questions about how personal information is collected and used, especially in our country. So as a journalist, what we see, so every journalist have to check and to see if the information is real or fake, and if it's automated created by AI or not. And that's my recommendation.
Thank you so much, Sheikh. We hope to have you on the program another time.
Thank you so much.
All right, great. Now, let's hear from you, Rudolph. What are your recommendations?
Thank you. My recommendation for AI is, first of all, to understand how humans consume information today. What are the sources of information, and how we can better educate them to be aware of the misconduct of AI or misuse of AI, of artificial intelligence. and then we can change behavior of people. We can help them understand how to recognize what is good news, what is fake news, and how to react properly.
Great. Thank you. And to you, Ismaila, what are your recommendations, please?
Yeah, so I think we should train people to be critical thinkers from as early as possible. AI is here to stay, so people will be using AI, but we have to train them to make sure that they use it responsibly and that they are critical enough not to just be so gullible that they trust every audio they hear, that they trust every video they see. Yeah, we have to really train people to be critical thinkers.
Great. Thank you. I hope to have you another time, please.
That will be my pleasure.
Okay, and to you, Rudolph?
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, listeners and viewers, this is where we conclude the 22nd episode of Take the Lead here on West Africa Democracy Radio, broadcasting on 94.9 FM on YouTube at WADR News, on Facebook, WADR English Service. It has been an amazing pleasure to have you with us. Please join us next Friday for another live edition of this program. Remember to take the lead in shaping the discourse for the betterment of young people in Africa. My name is Augustine Cully, wishing you all the best.
We thank you for listening to this program in Nigeria on Darling FM 107.3 Owerri, Southeast. We thank our listeners in Liberia on Alternative Youth Radio 98.9 FM, Nufa County, Kwakete Radio 100.9 FM, Barga, DCN Radio 91.3 FM, Rivers, in Sierra Leone. We thank our listeners on African Young Voices, Freetown, Radio Bath 91.3 FM, Eastern Community Radio FM 101.9 Kenema. In Ghana, Radio Pod, Savannah Region, Reals FM 104.7 Wenchi. In the Gambia, on Numi FM 94.0 North Bank Region. Radio Veritas 102.9 FM The Gambia.
I am the only educated person in my family. I have to explain to my entourage the political